What's up, guys, and good morning. Just got out of the shower, so my hair is a bit of a mess. Oh, 6 a.m. Let's grind. Every day is the same for me. Yes, I will wake up at 6, even on a weekend. I don't really take days off, guys. I'm committed. If I have to rest, I rest, whatever. I think I only really needed like a day and a half of rest in the last 10 days. I'm a psycho. You know, it's fun. This is fun for me. I genuinely enjoy going through groups, and I'm not going to be cocky, but think about like, why do I think I'm better than them? Why would I be a diamond and they're not? Why would I be a star and they're not? That's competitive in the heart. Can we genuinely help each other? Can we actually be friends? You know, Friendship is oftentimes independent of money. A paid relationship has a different vibe than just a friend, right? So a friend is someone that you would hang out with for free. This episode is called Relationship Funnel, then Business Funnel. The 15 people in my school community are a part of my relationship funnel. It does not matter to me if they ever give me a single dollar fucking ever for the rest of my life. It does not matter. Right? It's good to have a core kind of network and core alliance, and I'm not saying every other person that joins after the first 15, I'm gonna, pounce on them, but I probably will send them some kind of welcome message, and I probably will just try to start chatting with them in the DMs. I am an expert at sales, and I know don't pitch them, dude. The first wave of a new message to a new member should not be solicitous at all, should not even talk about a call. I joined every single free group in the 1,000 money groups that I thought was interesting or that I kind of resonated with or I was just curious about. Like 15 of them have already DM'd me, and they're continuously DMing me, hey, just bumping this post. Hey, just bumping this thread. I'm just going to ghost all. I'm just going to play cat and mouse. I'm going to ghost all of them, see what happens. Many of them wanted my phone number, and they say it's for anti-spam, but that's not true. The truth is they're texting me with a fucking bot doing a text message campaign. I personally find it to be a bit annoying. If they call me, that's going to really piss me off without my permission, but I gave them my number anyways because I don't give a shit, and I'm going to change my phone number in a few months anyways as I'm moving to Vietnam. I'm not even going to have a U.S. number for a while. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you're not even going to get a hold of me on the phone. We're going to have to do it on a platform or an app. But, yeah, community funnel, then business funnel. I do feel like phase 1 has been successfully completed, and that is all thanks to you guys. I really appreciate it. They were able, the 15 people in my group were able to get me to page, top 1,000, which is they got me featured on the discovery page. Yes, it's 34 pages deep, but I'm still on the fucking discovery page, and many people are not. That's the first elite tier. The second elite tier is, we could say top 100 or first 3 pages. People genuinely do scroll through the pages, so you will get traffic and exposure from being closer and closer to page 1. Page 1 on school means you get a star emoji. They give you emojis by your name as a flex. They give you one free flex, which is just a fire. If you've been on for 30 days straight, taken at least 10 actions or comments or messages, you get qualified for the fire emoji. Okay, it's free, but still, that means they're active, very consistently active. Okay, the rocket is probably easier to get than the star. Maybe not. I don't know. It depends on the niche, but star means top 30. I only know 2 stars out of 270 stars. That's not bad. I'd like to know all 270 stars. There's only 270 stars. There's 9 categories, and to be on the first page means you're ranked top 30 on Discovery. I am ranked 900 something now. I really don't care anymore. There are rocket. The next emoji is a rocket, which is 10,000 in a month. The next is a crown, which is 30,000 in a month. The next is a diamond. That's 100,000 in a month. I'm going to be honest. Only the diamond excites me to be one of 9 people. I guess I would be the 10th, unless one of you beat me there. But one of 10 on the entire platform. There are millions of people on school. there are 100, I believe there's 160,000 school owners. To be 10 of 160,000, that is a supreme, dare I say, God level, flex. The Crown is a big flex. Okay, 30K a month online is fucking amazing. That doesn't even count what other streams they may have. They still may have a native funnel, on a native site. They may have a native paywall. They may not. They may have other businesses. They may not. So, whatever. But Crown is a pretty big flex. I'm going to count every single Crown probably today because I'm a psycho. I'm going to count every single Crown and every single rocket, and then I'll feel like my data research has been completed. I'm going to bookmark every single Crown first and then every single rocket of all 9,000 people on Discovery, 1,000 for every niche. It's impossible to discover anybody outside of the top 1,000 unless it's through a network, through a friend of a friend of a friend, or you find someone's profile, you go to the bottom and you see what groups they're in. There's no other way to find a group other than through a friend of a friend, or looking at their, somebody's, or seeing a shout out or a recommendation. But you understand how important it is. Exposure is so important. There's no other way to even be discovered. They don't even know you exist, is the thing. That's the problem that we all face. So you want a relationship funnel in the beginning, because if you have a dead group and nobody's talking and every post is getting like 0 likes, I've had dead Facebook accounts for a very long time, not even getting a single like or a comment. I was kind of half-assed on social media. I wasn't really growing it hard. I never really applied myself this hard to Instagram or TikTok. I've made quite a lot of TikTok videos. I have like over 1,000 followers on TikTok, but it's not much of a bragging right, and I don't get very much engagement. So I haven't yet penetrated through my audience on TikTok. It takes a while. They call it TikTok jail. But YouTube would be a good place for me I like to make video content, I want to make video funnels. Instagram, I do still have an Instagram account, and I do have a backup Facebook account, even though I don't like Meta very much, If it was to help people and get discovered, then I suppose it would just be beneficial for me. You don't want to leave money on the table by being too arrogant. I'm too good for you guys because I hate your censorship. But if you never say anything disagreeable, then I suppose you would never be censored. Despite the fact that I disagree with it, can we work together to make me money? Maybe. I'm leaning back towards maybe, but such a bitter taste in my mouth because my Facebook got deactivated. It's because I posted a promo on Facebook Marketplace for my moving business. That's why. I got in trouble for it because people marked it as spam, even though it wasn't spam, My Instagram, I got deleted on Threads. I was kind of trolling a lot on Threads. I was experimenting with different strategies of posting. I was getting quite a lot of momentum going on Threads. I was starting to get quite a bit of followers, but the energy on Threads was kind of toxic anyways, if I'm honest. And then they suspended my account. They didn't deactivate it, they suspended it. And they said, you can request an appeal. And I was, oh, fuck off. Have the account. I don't care. So I think X is actually better than Threads just because the energy on Threads is kind of toxic. I mean, you can build anywhere where people are talking. You can build on Threads. I just don't like how easy it is to get censored and reported and then deactivated. I don't like it. So to me, X is the better option if you're just looking for a text-based social media platform. You can build X funnels. You can get traffic on X, but you can only pick one. So you got to decide. I think it just makes more sense to do a school funnel organically because we're already on here a lot on school, and people who are already have school accounts are already very active on the platform. So, man, I need to comb my hair, looking like a mess. But anyways, so phase 1 has been complete. 15 people helped me get to the top 1,000 ranks. I am now officially discoverable. Before that, was not discoverable. It was only through groups and mutual support back and forth in other people's groups. Okay. I'm not going to bother these 15 people because they were a part of my community funnel. They were not a part of my business funnel. Many of them may not really care about my business. Maybe some of them could be curious. Listen, if you're curious, I will show you what I can do for you, but I'm never going to solicit these 15 people directly because that was not why they joined my group. It was for support, right? So community funnel is first, because otherwise you're not discovered. You don't have any authority in a rank, and nobody's commenting, nobody's messaging. You need to have people who are just willing to like your posts, you like their posts. Like, you could say all friendships are like for like, which means if you really were friends with somebody in real life and they called upon a favor, you'd probably do it for them, and then they would try to find a way to reciprocate the favor. That's what friends do. That's why human beings went from being hunter-gatherers, if history is correct. I've been seeing so many bizarre conspiracy kind of theory channels, but if history is correct, we went from primal, caveman, hominin to the beginnings of civilization. Why? The truth is, for food and then survival, it was always an essential and urgent need. When people band together, even in a caravan, in a circle, then they can protect the inner circle from the outer, honestly, like animals, wolves, bears, lions, whatever, cougars. So it was defense against like actual threats of animals. And then diseases. You got to have a doctor, you need to have a nurse, someone that knows the herbs, primitive medicines, right? Maybe one guy is the storyteller. Maybe one guy makes shoes. Maybe one guy is the smith, right? I love to go revisit that medieval kind of energy. One of my favorite games is called Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. I bought a computer just to play that game on PC because I bought a PC laptop just to play that game because I can't play it on Windows, on Steam. But I love it. It goes from Dark Age to Feudal Age to Castle Age to Imperial Age. And then the troops advance, the technology advances, so you can farm faster. You farm food, you can fish. There's food, wood, stone, and then gold. So a lot of the expensive troops cost gold. There's only a limited supply of gold on the map. Once that gold is gone, you can only get gold by a market selling food, but the conversion rate is super low. So you'd have to have a ton of farms. Eventually, everybody runs out of gold, and then they call it trash wars. Trash wars is when you make the cheap troops that are just food and wood, because it's easy to. Eventually, if the game goes on for like hours, which is by then is already like very boring, you're gonna run out of food as well. When that happens, it's kind of like a stalemate, But anyways, yeah. So that's not exactly true because you can always convert. Anyway, I'm being nerdy now, but the farm per cost of wood is like sometimes 300 something food for 60 wood. So theoretically, if you sell it with the market, you may just break even. So, you can only be making food only troops, which are scouts and villagers. Anyways, to be OCD about it. Gonna do a call with Z, our first call at 7 p.m. tonight. I'm gonna offer one free call to any of you guys this week. If you want, this is not a free call for me to jump on you. This is a genuine free call to just see if I can help you in any way. Optimize your profile or your offer typically is what people want help with in the beginning. Do you have an offer? Do you have $1,000 offer? Like, are you really trying to drive traffic to spend money on school? We need to start talking about this. I'm obsessively focusing on the rocket emoji. I want the rocket and the star. I actually want the rocket first. That's more of a flex. We're all talking a lot in this one group called Goosify, and I've only ever seen one rocket, and I don't remember his name, but I joined his group, but he's got a green halo around his picture. I've only ever seen one money emoji, and he's got 9,000 people in that group. That's the first major flex. 10K in a month from school. They spent 10K on your school profile. Okay? That's important. How do we solicit without being annoying? Well, all these people, all these groups that I joined, they do send you a DM immediately. I do find that it's annoying, but if it's a genuine DM and it's not too salesy, then I may respond. I don't mind responding. I know they're trying to get money. I'm trying to get money, you know? I've actually gotten coaches to pay me. It's a coach for coach, chatting, and then they realize that I'm a bit better at business and they're doing like women's empowerment, and then they realize that I actually am more qualified to help them than they are qualified to help me because I'm not a woman. I'm very empowered, and they paid me money, and I didn't even really pitch. I was like, I don't know if you're trying to pitch me or if you're curious about my business. That's the kind of coaching tango dance, a romantic dance with a fellow coach. Coach for coach. So who's pitching who? I don't know. We're both pitching each other. Well, you joined my group. Well, it's like, yeah, but I've done better numbers than you. Well, yeah. So, anyways, that's the coach kind of tango. We'll do a little salsa dance. We'll take turns being the lead. You got to practice being the lead. I took a ballroom dance class in college, intro to ballroom dance, and every single woman told me I was an exceptional lead. I have to say I'm pretty good with the girls when I'm trying, but right now I'm not. I'm single. I'm not even trying. I only want business. I only want to get to Vietnam and get that fucking rocket. That's the only pressing desire on my mind. And yes, to grow the community, but honestly, I want the rocket. I want to make my dream come true. I want to move to Vietnam. We're going to make this happen. You have to make demands of the universe. To get money from people who are friends and supporting you, you have to do it in a very thoughtful and cautious way. Okay? Typically, they will begin to show buying signs and buying signals. Okay? The first step of a business conversation is not about your offer, your link, a call, a course you did. The first thing you very gently tease it, seductive, is do we want to talk about how long have you been in business? That's the first basically tease. It's to even talk about your offer. That's the first thing. Do you even want to talk about your offer? And do you have $1,000 product or not? Do you even want to be talking about traffic? Business people like to talk to each other about traffic. One person posted on the Goosify, got some MRR or something, and I said, where's she getting her traffic from? He said TikTok. I said, okay, it's interesting. I want to know, where are you getting it from? TikTok. Okay, I have a TikTok, but I haven't converted on a TikTok funnel. Yeah. Business people like to talk about traffic. We talk about it naturally. This lady that I had a really weird conversation with, because it ended up being her boyfriend that was talking to me. I didn't know. It was like, was the boyfriend talking to me this whole time? And I thought it was the girl. And I was like, this is just weird. I don't know what's going on with you guys. It's very strange. But he had a roofing business, and so they're asking me about traffic. I told them it was through Facebook by doing basically marketing campaigns and buy sell groups, because many people were selling things that I would deliver. So, that was a kind of sneaky way to get free traffic. I would just say, hey, do you offer a delivery? My last business was a moving and delivery business. I just got $150 to drop off a fucking couch. It was gigantic. It was all white, so I had to be very careful. I can wrap it. $150 is a lot. That's on the high side of the market, but I get it, and I get it often because I built up a magnetic inferno and a magnetic funnel. Half of what they're buying off of me is, I believe, my magnetic power and energy. The other half is, yes, maybe you could have gotten someone to do it for like $100, maybe. I got an extra $50 out of you guys, okay, for my magnetic energy. That's why I'm able to sell higher than market. If you're going to spend more than an average person or a bare minimum person, then what do you get for the extra money? Wealthy people pay a premium for like magnetic energy. You know what I mean? Like an average salesperson may not have a very high energy level. An exceptional salesman typically does have a very high energy level, or is very charismatic, or very likable. Sometimes it's kind of a sweet talking seduction sale. My ex bought some fucking hair tool in Vegas. The guy, I wasn't there at the time. She told me the story though. The guy was kind of European, sweet talking her. Oh, beautiful. Come here. Let me look at your hair. So sometimes we buy charisma and charm. Just flirt with me a little bit, make me feel like I'm handsome. Um, we're all a little bit vain. Oh, beautiful honey, or, in sales. Hey man, that's a really cool shirt. Where'd you get it? Did he actually believe the shirt was cool? Or did he give a compliment just to build rapport? I don't know, but it's still nice to hear. We still like to hear these sweet little nothings, okay? Maybe you're lying to my fucking face, telling me what I want to hear. I still like it, okay? A little bit of flattery, okay? Not too much flattery, because then it's obnoxiously fake, okay? And disingenuous. But, yeah. All right, guys. So I'm going into kind of sales mode. You need to build a relationship funnel first. Many of you guys still need to complete your relationship funnel and get to the top 1,000. Some of you guys already have a relationship funnel and you're already in the top 1,000. I would say if you're not in the top 1,000 on Skool, the number one thing is to get to top 1,000. You have to be discovered and be able to talk about this rank. Okay, then we will gradually try to get to 100 and then 1, but it's not as important anymore. Then we build the business funnel. Then we're going to try to get the rocket. Okay. So what we need to focus on this week, guys, is if you're not top 1,000, let's get to top 1,000. Let's complete your relationship funnel. To be in top 1,000, how do you do that? That means you have enough people that are actually talking to each other, posting, commenting. There is actual activity and it's not fake. And it's not just like for like. Okay, I'll give you 15 likes. There's no interaction. Do you know what I mean? Genuine and organic interaction, not just a basic ass response for the sake of blowing each other up. Although it helps to support each other, and it's nice to support each other, and you feel friendly when you support each other. Okay. If you're in the top 1,000, we need to get that rocket. We need to focus on the money. Okay. If you want to just mastermind with me, I'm even offering to do it for free right now, but I am gonna charge $60 a month for this. It's a high level mastermind, guys who know how to make money. Okay. I have made quite a lot of money. I have consistently made $100-200 in an hour. I've made $1,000 plus many times. I've done a $10,000 day and I made $3,600 once. We're going to recreate this now. It's time for me to do another 10K day, baby. 10K in a day? You get the rocket ship in a fucking day? Who wants to give me 10 grand? Your boy needs a rocket, man. I'm Rocket Man. Fly away with me. Fly away with me. Boom. Rocket ship. Yeah. Okay. I've got $1,000 sale. I got a $6,000 sale. So if I get two $6,000 sales, I get a rocket. If I get 10 $1,000 sales, I get a rocket. $60 mastermind eventually. It may take several years to get that many people to want to pay $60 a month. My prices are high, much higher than the normal person. I'm not going to do a fucking $7 premium plan. I don't give a fuck about $7. I'm sorry, I don't. That doesn't excite me. $60 excites me. $60 gets your boy excited. Oh, wow, you actually really value me. You really value my energy, right? We value each other, right? Okay. And then my highest ticket is 6K. Oh, 6K. I will fall in love with you. I will send you love letters. I will, give you the fucking best testimonial you've ever gotten in your life. Oh, I may even go fly to go see you if you give me 6K. I mean, I'm joking, but 6K, I'll get on a plane tomorrow, fuck. 6K, I will give you the love that you have never experienced ever. All right, guys, much love. Comment. You want that rocket? Blow it up. Comment some rockets. Let's go.